welcome back to the Art Moehn Auto Show.
Hey.
Special guest in the building today, Matt Ahlbaum.
Hello, thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome,
I appreciate it.
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Newly
Speak
promoted.
into the mic. We
Oh,
love
I'm
to
so
hear your
sorry,
beautiful
dude. I'm so
voice.
sorry. Let's get a little closer. I didn't
Don't
know
be
the
shy.
proximity, Yeah.
Newly promoted Matt Ahlbaum,
Yes,
too. Let's
yes,
add that.
absolutely,
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
so excited to have you on. Matt was a previous salesperson here at Art Moehn Chevrolet, and he just got promoted to business manager.
Okay.
So
Moving
he's
up in
dealing with the
world.
money
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
So what made you get into the car business?
So really just kind of a background in sales.
Okay.
So started out in the restaurant industry, which I'm sure a lot of salespeople can kind of attest to, right? It's kind of a natural transition.
Yeah, I think Devon came from the restaurant industry, too.
Yeah, yep, 100%.
Yeah.
So, just kind of naturally progressed. I was always, even at kind of a young age, I remember, parents and friends and stuff like that, and being like, "Oh, you would be like good in sales," and
Oh.
took nothing of it. As 15, 16
Yeah,
years old.
you're like,
Sure.
okay, cool.
And then I don't know, was good at serving, and then started working for AT&T doing door to door for
Okay.
a while.
AT&T, really? Because it's so
AT&T,
funny. Tyseer was on last week, and he did Samsung, and you did Best Buy. You guys
Yeah.
are all just...
Yeah,
We're all
and
one
that
big
was
happy
kinda tech
family.
world,
That's
yeah,
funny.
Yeah. And then did Comcast.
Okay.
Oh.
Retail stores for 2.5 years. Yeah, like 2.5 years, something like that. And then kind of capped myself out, and I'm a car enthusiast, and I was like, well, what if I went and sold cars? I love cars, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's like I already like the product, you know what I
natural
mean?
transition
Yeah,
into
natural
it.
transition.
Yeah.
So and then and then here we are. Once I started here, kind of saw the finance side of things, and I was like, that's pretty interesting. And
Worked
3
your
years
way
later,
up.
here we are.
I think
Yeah.
it's really interesting, when people might see a restaurant or serving or bartending on a resume, they're like, oh, whatever. That really instills a lot of good people skills in
Yeah.
you. Like, it requires a lot of communication, and like we said, this is a people business,
Yep.
Yeah.
as is that. So
Yeah.
I think that really, it's a good foundation for
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
And even like working with cell phones, right? It's just, as you know, nothing ever goes smooth,
No,
and you have to have
Yeah.
some troubleshooting, even with cars, hooking up people's phones. So it's nice that you have a nice foundation there. Now, did you get recruited here, or did you just apply, walked in?
So actually, funny story. So Lou
Okay.
actually came into Comcast one day because he was having internet issues.
Lou is one of our business managers, has
Yep.
been here for a long time.
Yep. That's my stepdad. Running joke, Yeah, not actually. But he came in with just like some internet issues, and I was like, hey man, like here's how you take care of it. And he had on his little Art Moehn name badge. And at the time, I was starting to think about the transition into like what else I could do, and so I just kind of started talking to him about that. And he was like, yeah man, just come on down and ask for an interview. So I popped
Really?
in on a Saturday, which in hindsight, being in the business, was probably the worst day
Oh,
to
yeah.
pop in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be like, hey, you guys got like an hour to
It's
just
like going
talk
into
about it,
to a bar and being like on a Saturday night during the dinner rush, like,
Yeah.
can I just talk to
Are
you
you
real
guys
quick?
hiring? Yeah. So yeah, Charlie came up and he was like, yeah man, just come back Monday or Tuesday or something like that. And so then I met with him and Garth, who was still here at the time, and then the rest was kind of history. So and
That's
then
so funny.
funny side note,
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
So Lou effectively got me the job here. Right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then when I came in for the actual interview portion of it, Lou was walking by, and I was like, hey Lou, and he just looked at me like he had no idea who he was.
Oh.
He was just like,
No way.
hey dude, and I was like,
Hi.
yeah. So yeah.
Surprise.
He still has my Comcast business card.
Aw.
The OG.
Yeah, he still has my Comcast.
You should
business
frame
card
that
I
in your
gave.
office.
I should, how
Started
it all
from-
started.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Started
Now,
from the bottom.
now, what skills did you bring over from your AT&T Comcast to the car sales that kind of helped you in your success?
So the tech side of things, obviously, right? That's a huge help. Cars are just loaded with technology
Sure.
nowadays.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? Which is great. You know what I mean? It's what a time to be alive.
That's why we offer warranties too, in case something breaks.
Yeah, like
Talk to your business
spaceships.
manager about it.
I know a guy.
That's right. That's right. But then, moreover, too, just kind of the people skills, which does kind of really more go back to the restaurant things. But
For sure.
that's in all sales. Just having that customer service, being approachable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Knowing how to how to hold yourself up in those kind of situations. You're just talking to strangers all day, and
Yeah.
you do that for X amount of years, you just kind of be comfortable at it. So
Yeah.
So it was really just about, learning the job once I got here, but the, kind of the intangibles
Got it.
that you need to kind of be successful were already kind of in place.
Yeah.
So it made it a pretty smooth transition for me.
Yeah.
So
How would you say you was your first year here? Like,
it was great. It was,
Yeah.
it was fantastic. First month on the floor, I sold 20 cars.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Really?
Yep,
Oh my
first month on
gosh.
the floor, I
Came
sold
out
20.
running.
Came out running.
Well,
Needed to.
how long have you worked here now?
So almost 3.5 years.
Okay.
There you go.
It was in June. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
the first year was it could not have gone any better.
Amazing.
Even in the midst of COVID, because it was 2021 when I started here.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
So
Oh, so
even
you
with-
never actually worked like in a pre-COVID era, just
no,
like myself.
No,
Oh, okay.
yeah, no,
Cool.
not at all, not at all. So when I came, the lot was full
Oh.
of cars. By
Okay.
the time I started selling,
Lucky you.
it was like really starting to like dwindle down.
Oh yeah.
But it still went as good as I could have hoped. I made more money than I did the previous year at Comcast, which was the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went fantastic, and only kind of gone up from there. So
I mean, there's people that never sold 20 cars in their career. So
Yeah.
do
And
you
you
do
just
that?
came here and
yeah.
Start
No,
cracking necks
Yeah,
and taking names.
No, 100%. But we've got, you guys know this. We've got a great management team. We've got a great support system here.
Yeah.
So obviously everyone was, super willing to help and all that stuff. So it as much as maybe I was ready for it, they maybe gave me that little extra push to really make it, a reality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was awesome.
So like when you started here, like what are some of your goals? And obviously you're in the business office now, and so there's more potential.
Yeah.
What are your goals? Like, is it like a lake house? Is it like a sports car? What's the end goal for you?
I mean, I think, and maybe this is kind of generic, but like financial freedom,
Yeah.
obviously, right? I think everyone can kind of attest
Yeah.
to that, being able to do
Yeah.
whatever you want, whenever you want, you know what I mean, within reason. I'm a car enthusiast, which is a terrible vice to have. They're incredibly expensive,
And you got a couple
unfortunately.
kids.
I got a couple
You got a
kids, you know what I mean?
family.
Yep, I got a family to support as well. So, I'd love to, be able for my wife to not necessarily, and she would never not work, you know what I
Sure.
mean? Because she loves doing it, but to maybe even just to have that option in a
Yeah.
real way, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, hey, we're completely fine.
That would
if you
be
don't
nice.
want to, that would be fantastic.
Would love that for
So,
her.
Yeah. And obviously, I want to spoil the heck out of my kids more so than I
Yeah,
already
of
do.
course, yeah.
Yeah. So.
They're too cute not to.
Yes, they sure are. Yeah, they sure are. They get away with too much because of it. Yeah.
Love
So
it.
since you're a car enthusiast, what's the dream car?
An M3.
M3?
Generation M3. Yep. Throw a bunch of go fast parts on it.
Is that
Okay.
a BMW?
It is.
Okay.
Yep,
I've literally,
Absolutely.
I used to have a BMW, and I'm like, what is that?
I know. I was sad when you sold yours. We were,
I
'cause we
know.
were
Beamer
BMW.
gang.
Beamer gang.
We were Beamer buddies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you drive right now?
A BMW.
BMW.
So BMW. Yep. So
Yeah.
I got a 340, which is it's like a baby M kind of, in a
Okay.
way. So, yeah.
M3.
So,
Yeah.
M3. It's a fun car.
I traded mine in for my Trailblazer. I had to get my mom car.
Yes,
I
of
had
course.
something to put the baby seat in the back, and
course.
I couldn't have the baby in a
Well, since
Beamer.
we're on the topic of Chevys, obviously we sell Chevys and Hondas. Gun to the head, which brand
Gun
would
to
you
the
pick?
head.
Oh, my bad. I'm just saying, if your life depended on it,
It
would you
is.
choose Chevy or Honda?
So like
What would you get?
myself, it's such a tough question. You know what
I
I mean? 'Cause,
know,
like,
we're
I
coming
do-
with the big ones.
Being a car enthusiast, I do. I definitely had more experience with Hondas, Civics and VTEC and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, I think aesthetically, Chevy.
Okay.
I think gun to my head, I think I would pick a Chevy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I love Blazers.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I built on the Chevrolet website like a blue
Yeah.
Premier Blazer with the loft brown interior, same interior
Oh.
Emily has in hers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I never pulled the trigger on it, or anything like that, but yeah, I think Chevy. So
Probably Chevy over
probably
Honda.
Chevy.
Okay.
I mean, my wife had the Traverse. We
Okay.
got her Traverse
okay.
once we had baby number 2.
Yeah.
So needed the third row. So so I'd say Chevy, but Honda, not a bad pick at all. You can't go wrong. You can't
I
go
work in
wrong.
the Honda building,
That's
so.
right. Yeah.
So you can't hate on them too much. Mo is
And
here.
the new CRVs are so
Fire.
They're
they
so
look
nice.
so good.
Yes.
They genuinely look so good. And even the when did they do the Civic refresh? Was that 23?
I believe so,
I think
yeah.
it was in 23. And the new Civics look
Fire.
They look so good.
Yes.
They look so good.
One of my friends just got a new CRV, and
Yeah.
she was like, I didn't know how nice they were. And it is so, because she came looking at Chevys, and I don't know if she was looking at Equinox or something. She's
Yeah.
like, wait,
Yeah.
Well, the great thing
What else
too
do you have here?
is they come pretty loaded too. I mean, just from the get-go, like all your safety features are pretty standard, like your adaptive cruise, your lane keep assist.
Yeah.
And I like how simplified it is too, right? Like
Yeah.
the same EXL that's here is going to be the same EXL that's in Chicago. So it's like universal pricing, same build.
That is like a genuinely a very nice, and I don't sell too many Hondas necessarily, being on the Chevy side of things. But that is, I don't want to necessarily say a headache on on the Chevy side, but you can get, I call them fake LTs, right? So like, standard LT will have like heated seats and remote start, and you can get fake ones that just have the confidence package on them, so like just the safety assist, whereas Honda, if it's an LX, it's an LX.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If it's an
Yeah,
EX, it's an
that's
EX. It's all
interesting.
the
I
same
didn't
thing.
realize
So,
that.
Yeah, so easier on that side of
Yes.
things for Honda, definitely.
I think
Yeah.
everything should just have heated seats. And
I
like
will live in
remote
Michigan.
start,
Like we kind of need that.
Come on now.
It's kind of going that way though.
Yeah.
now,
Hopefully.
it really
It's
is. kind of a-
2024.
Yeah.
Let us have a little luxury. You
doing?
know what I mean? Yeah.
Speaking of your BMW, they were talking about doing subscription for heated seats, but I think that's in
I-
Europe.
Subscription?
Subscription,
Yes, I
yeah.
heard that. I don't know if there was any actual validity to it, or if it was just kind of a prank. But like it took.
Yeah.
Like it was like online. It was.
Did they
like,
post it on April Fool's Day or?
I can't remember.
I actually
Hopefully
googled
not.
it. Yeah.
I
Okay.
can't remember, but it was like the BMW community was kind of like.
What is going on?
Like, is this real?
So
There's
you
no
would
way this
like
is real.
pay monthly,
Yeah, for
It's like
the
another
CDCs
Spotify.
to work. Yeah.
and if you didn't, they would just turn them off.
It just didn't work. They just didn't,
It's
Kind of like
ridiculous.
OnStar, right? Like it's there, but you gotta.
Yeah.
If you want them to turn on, you gotta
That's rude.
give us a little money.
It's so cold.
Yeah.
Please turn on my heated seats. I'm so cold.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
So talk to us
No.
about like the learning curve from going into sales and ultimately into finance. What you're seeing, what's kind of been like the hurdles for you?
This is like your first week.
It is my
there,
first
right?
week,
Yeah.
so the hurdles are all of them as of right now.
Yeah.
It is genuinely it's overwhelming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad
Yeah.
thing. But
Anything
there
you
is-
start new is going to look like that.
Yeah, 100%. And then it's like we don't, we know what's going on back there as salespeople to a certain degree, but once you kind of get back into that office and you really actually see the breadth of what they're doing in there, it's like
Yeah. You don't realize how much.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's a lot. But I like a challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like a hill to climb. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I like sales in general. High skill ceiling, right? You can never really perfect it, and same within there too. So a ton to learn still. And I think that's one of the things too is we handle objections. You know what I mean? That's part of our job, and it's a whole different way of handling them in there. You know what I mean? So me and Lou had a deal last night, and customer objected to something, and I was just kind of like deer in the headlights. I was like.
You can't be like, let me go get my manager.
Yeah, well,
Because
luckily Lou,
you are the
stepdad,
manager
was there
now.
to save the day.
Yeah, you have great trainers, great
yes,
teachers.
great trainers, always willing to help and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, can you talk to us about like incidents like where you sold a car, you sold a warranty, like when you're in sales and that warranty actually bailed that customer out, like they were so thankful that they got it.
Oh my gosh!
And can you express the importance of getting that on used cars and why people should do it?
I mean, so we were talking about all the technology on cars today.
Correct.
Right. Most manufacturers, you get your powertrain is a 5-year 60, right?
Yep.
Combustion engines, for the most part, have never been better. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about the engine in the vehicle. We are worried about all the electronics in the vehicle.
Sure.
So, what was it? Was it last summer? Little old lady came in, bought an Equinox. You know what I mean? Super nice customer. The engine. Which I know we're talking about the engine right now. I said we don't have to worry about them, but the engine blew up
No.
14, 15 days after.
No.
And the Equinox that she bought was out of manufacturer warranty. It had run out of time, not out of miles, but she did get a service contract. So within a
Gosh.
week, it was back up and running, and she was good to go. So
Good.
and it's not like she didn't have like a ton of family or anything like that. So not necessarily a ton of money to throw at. I mean, that's not cheap, man. A whole engine, that's $6-7 grand.
Wow.
It's crazy. So she paid $100 and
back on the
Got a
road
new
she
engine.
was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to paint the viewers a picture, right? So let's suppose like that car she bought was like 20 grand.
Yeah.
And you said about a year later, she started having issues.
No, it was like 2 weeks after.
Oh,
she
2
got it.
weeks
Yeah, it was
after.
like 2 weeks after. She
Yeah.
got it.
So
Yeah,
one
first
thing
one.
is like bills don't stop,
No.
right? So if she bought that and then that issue happened, she didn't have the warranty. She still has to pay on that car, correct?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and it's like how long it might take you a little while to come up with that money.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
it takes you 3 months to save up for that money, you're paying on a car that is just sitting,
That's
you know,
just
in your
unfortunate.
driveway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or sitting at the shop just waiting to get fixed. You know what I mean? So.
And that's how people fall behind too, because they're like, I'm not gonna pay this on time when it's not working, and then hits their credit and goes into delinquency. It's not fun, but obviously you're the business manager out, and they have your best interest at heart.
Yeah,
so.
we really do, man. We want to keep that car protected. For you guys, for us. It just makes life easier for all parties involved. You know what I mean? It's gonna protect your investment.
Well, I
Protect your
mean,
investment.
speaking of that, I literally just had a customer. So I sold her a car over the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and she bought the Honda Civic hatch with the sportier rims. And I made a joke. I kind of planted the seed. I was just like, hey, we live in Michigan. We don't have the best roads. It'd be nice to look into the tire wheel. It's like, yeah. Justin Denslow, he did the financing, and I kind of plugged it in. She bought it. She called me today saying that she hit a pothole so bad that it damaged the rim
No
and it damaged the tire,
way.
and she got it covered.
And she
So-
called you to tell you?
Well, she called me and she's like, what do I do? I was like, hey, go
Oh.
to your dealer. They'll take care of you. If you need anything on my end, I'll take care of it. But
$0 deductible.
$0
too, right?
deductible,
Nothing
yeah.
out of pocket for
Perfect.
that, wheel and tire.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
rule of thumb, wheel and tire, anything that happened on the road.
That's right. On the road.
Yeah.
On the road. Never anywhere else. On the road.
Exactly.
Yes,
My baby mama was on the road when it happened.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Well, what can people expect when they come in to Art Moehn to finance their vehicle? And especially if they don't have the best credit score, or if they've struggled at other dealerships or in the past.
So, and we do hear this. We do hear this a lot.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple. We call them like B-lot dealerships around here, and you will hear not the best experience.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me see anything. They wouldn't let me drive anything. Anything like that. And I think we kind of pride ourselves this on a dealership is we do treat everyone the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you've got bad credit, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to work this backwards for you. Okay, we're going to see what we can get you approved on, and then we're going to present those options to you. And we're going to we're going to keep it within the realm of what you need. You know what I mean? If I'm not going to if a mom of 3 comes in, we're not going to necessarily show her a sedan or something like that. We're going to do everything
Yeah.
we can to try to make that SUV that she needs, a reality for her. And we're going to do everything we can. We've got a wonderful finance team here. Lou gets a lot of those deals. And man, he works hard. He takes that personally. That's conversations that I've had with him before. Like he really wants to get that. He really wants to change that person's life.
Yeah.
So that is kind of like, that is a life-changing moment.
It is.
I'm down on my luck. My credit, my car, something happened to it. It got totaled. It blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. You know what I mean? I need something. And so here, I think we do a fantastic job of doing absolutely everything we can
Yeah.
to make that happen, and then treating everyone the same. It doesn't matter if you're buying a $5,000 car, if you're getting a over $100,000 Z06,
Right.
something like that.
You're still
We're
going to get that.
You're going to
That
get
red carpet treatment
red
here at Art
carpet treatment every
Moehn.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the big thing too is putting somebody in like a hoopty does us no good, right? We want to build a relationship. We want to build a connection. We don't want to sell you one car. We want to sell you multiple cars, your
Yeah.
family cars. It makes no sense for us to do that.
Yeah.
100%. We
Right.
had right on that, man. We had a customer. I think it was the end of February. They came in and we had a high mileage Tahoe that they wanted to see.
Yep.
And they ended up having good credit and all that stuff. And Lou actually came out and he was like, "Hey guys, you could get probably anything out here. We could get you something with much less miles that maybe isn't as much of a concern potentially. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
So they ended up taking home a used Traverse that had they were looking at a Tahoe with like 160,000 miles on it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I've got the Traverse, same more like interior volume than the Tahoes at that time for that model year. It was 40,000 miles on it, something like that.
Yeah.
Down the road they went, happy as a clam. So definitely do have like their best. We have your best interests at heart.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly, and that's the full transparency, right?
Yeah.
Because like we don't care about like we want to make sure generally they don't have an issue when you get them. Because the worst thing you want to do as like a salesperson is like when you sell somebody a car, then they blowing you up. Like my car doesn't work.
Yeah, no,
and
we
all
don't want that at all. We don't want that at all. That's no
Exactly.
fun for anyone.
What can somebody do to build their credit?
I mean, a lot of things. A lot of things. Secured credit cards. And auto loan, right, is obviously a big one. There's kind of like a rule of thumb is if you've got a mortgage, but pay your house, pay your car, you know what I mean, on time, and those are going to those are going to take you far, you know what I mean. So, but yeah, secured credit cards, things like that. Just make sure you're making those monthlies, when you can, and it'll go a long way. You can ruin your credit very, very quickly. It's much easier to ruin it than, and I had terrible credit, 6-7 years ago. I was below a 500. You know what I mean? I was. I just didn't know. You know what I mean? And then, kind of got educated. You know what I mean? And now we're.
Yeah, I mean, we're young.
I
we
didn't
make
even know
mistakes.
I had credit until not too recently, but an embarrassing amount of time ago.
Yeah, right,
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's not
It's
anything.
not super common. It's not really. Especially if you don't, come from anywhere that come from a family that maybe talks about money or things like that. You just don't know, and I never kind of learned it growing up. You know what I mean? I didn't. So when I
They don't teach it in schools.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. And like
In my head, it was like credit cards were bad,
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Right.
Cut them up.
Wait, you can do it responsibly and build your credit and do it the right way.
Yeah.
Get them Sky Miles.
That's it. Oh, I love those.
Ooh, the Sky Miles.
Gosh,
Yeah.
the platinum card goes crazy.
Yeah, that's so crazy. We have
Well-
a fun section for you now.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a little game with ya.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
It's Would You Rather Car Edition.
Okay. Yeah.
So, first question. Would you rather only have AC or only have heat in your car?
Remember, we live in
We
Michigan.
so it's just heat.
It gets real
Just
cold,
heat.
real
I'm
hot
a-
in the summer, though.
But I'm a windows down guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm windows down all the time in the summer, so we'll make it through the summer.
Yeah.
Can't make it through the winter without
Not
it.
at all.
It just won't.
Mo,
just
do
won't
you
it.
agree?
100%, yeah.
Heat, I'm
Gotta
heat.
have
I
it.
need
I hate
heat.
the
Florida
cold.
like AC, right? That's
100%.
it's gotta
Sometimes
be
it gets
AC,
so
you know?
hot. I'm going to be pregnant this summer. I don't know. I might put a little clip in. If I only had the heat, maybe I'd do a little fan in the car.
Right.
We're built for the heat, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Yeah, we're built
so
for it, you know?
we're
Yeah, we love it.
fine.
We love it. I
And
love
what
the
does that
sun.
mean? You're built for the heat.
I just love the sun. I just like
Our complexion.
What does that
you know what I'm
mean?
saying? Yeah. Without dancing
I'm
around it,
not.
you know what I mean?
Address the elephant in the room.
You know,
The
yeah.
complexion, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
like we go to Florida a couple times over the past few years, and my wife, 95 on the beach, she's dying.
Oh, no.
She's got to be applying sunscreen every 13 seconds.
I'm a
you know.
quarter Italian. I get a nice tan.
Oh, there you go.
I can handle
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We don't sunburn, though. So.
No, we
Well,
don't. No, we don't.
Some are luckier than others.
There you
so.
Ooh, here's a good one.
Yeah.
Your horn. So
horn.
there's two options.
Okay.
So when you push the horn,
Okay.
plays Barbie Girl or Wheels on the Bus.
Barbie Girl.
Barbie Girl.
Barbie Girl, you didn't even have to think
Girl.
about
That's
that.
a classic.
Proudly,
What
are you
talking
like honking extra with that?
about? I think so. Yeah.
Are
I
you-
think,
you holding
so
back?
I'm not a honker.
Right.
Like
Okay.
in traffic, like I don't, like someone cuts me off, I don't honk. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But if that was my horn, I think I would. I think I would much more.
I think that
you
might
know?
get their attention more than actual horn honk because they'd be
Absolutely.
like,
What is
and
going
then you
on?
just skirt around them.
Yeah, right,
Bye.
exactly.
Okay,
That's
good answer.
funny.
Same.
I like
what about
that.
you, Mo?
I'd rather go Wheels on the Bus.
You're gonna go
Yeah.
Wheels on the
Yeah,
Bus?
I'm gonna go Wheels on the
Okay,
Bus.
a classic,
A classic.
if you will.
I grew up with it.
Can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
Love it.
Barbie Girl might actually be in my Apple Music. There's a good chance.
It sounds like your Spotify Rap top 10
Yeah,
songs
maybe
played.
not top 10, but it's probably
Wow.
in there. It's probably in there.
It's
like
in
a
there
remix
somewhere.
version, maybe.
It's a good song.
I'm saying.
With the movie that just came out, they got remixes.
Yeah.
No.
It's not a bad
We'll
song.
see when you post your Spotify rap, see what pops
we'll
up.
see.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
see. What's
see.
up there. We'll see what's up there.
Okay. Would you rather always have clear traffic, like no traffic, or always get the best parking spot anywhere
Clear
you go?
traffic.
Clear traffic.
Okay.
That's
You
easy.
really like You're very sure in these answers.
Yeah,
You know right
Well,
away.
like car
I feel like you've done this
enthusiast.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Thought about this.
Maybe. I feel like I do a lot of would you rather's with my friends for some reason. Like,
Okay.
It's a pretty natural thing that just happens,
Yeah.
you know? So maybe I'm seasoned with would you
Yeah.
rather's.
You're like,
you know?
oh, I know.
It's that one, yeah. But no, car enthusiast,
Traffic.
so like give me clear traffic all the time.
Same.
So,
Yeah,
so-
I can walk. I don't mind like walking across.
No, not at
I'm
all.
not like a big like I go to the grocery store and I'm like, I mean, it's not that serious. Like I
No,
can
like I don't, yeah.
I'll
same.
walk a little
Same.
bit,
Yeah,
you know.
It's like, oh no, it's
I
an extra
I'm
20
fine.
yards.
You know.
I purposely park back too because people don't put their shopping carts up and everything. And
Oh
be
yeah,
adored
that's
and
true.
whatnot.
Or I like to park. I almost think it's better to park next to the shopping cart corral rather than park close to the door, because you want to put your cart back after
Yeah,
you're done
it's
putting your
true.
groceries in, and it's
Yeah.
right there.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Just
I like
Give yourself
that.
a little time. All right.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
Would you rather drive a school bus or a garbage truck?
Forever, always. Nothing
Oh,
else.
Dang, that's.
Remember them screaming
Caveat on
kids?
That is crazy for the rest of forever.
For the rest of your life.
Oh gosh,
Big old yellow school bus or a big. It stinks too. It smells like garbage. Garbage.
it
truck.
does smell like garbage. But
Yeah.
you know, garbage men get paid really well.
I'm not saying you have
What
the
about the
job.
screaming
You
kids,
don't have the
though?
job. You're not a school bus driver or a
Oh, I
garbage
just
truck
have
man.
one.
You're
Yes.
just driving your car here to Art Moehn. You're driving a school
Oh,
bus.
then school bus.
School bus?
Yeah, because it wouldn't smell.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
and they're
like
big, so
huge.
you're always with people too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You
It's
know,
like
it's-
if I need to, if we need to go somewhere, like
Come on,
Not just
guys.
school bus.
hop in my school bus. you
Let's
know?
go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, school bus.
You could have like 20 kids and be no problem.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
No, no, thank you.
Oh,
I'm working on my first one. And I'm
Right.
just
There you
like,
go.
Stressed.
Oh my gosh.
You're doing just fine though.
Yeah.
So Matt,
So I'm just growing him. I'm doing great.
yeah. So Matt, at the conclusion of this podcast, what can a customer expect when they come into your office for financing, and why should they come here opposed to like a B lot or any other dealership?
Well, just kind of what we talked about before, transparency, and then we're going to treat you the right way, no matter what you're getting, no matter what your situation is. You know what I mean? We're gonna make sure that you're taken care of. And then as far as what to expect in my office, I don't know yet.
Come
You
be
know?
Matt's first
Good
customer.
vibes.
Yeah,
You can expect good vibes.
But what I've always tried to kind of emulate is kind of a no pressure environment.
Okay.
Let's have a good time. Let's laugh. Let's joke.
Yeah.
Let's be human,
Finance
right?
Let's be
offices are
human.
kind of scary sometimes, and you're
It's
like,
it's you know, people are
if you don't know.
it's
you
a
know.
terrifying. I don't want to say it's a terrifying process, but people, you know,
Intimidating.
they get some anxiety when they're buying a car. It's a large purchase. It's a lot of money. It's a big commitment.
Yeah.
Things like that. So, yeah, just trying to be easygoing and you know, just make it comfortable, make it fun.
Yeah.
You know,
I
make
think
it
you
a
have
memorable experience.
A good level of approachability, which really is something that like can't be taught. So
And people buy from people they like, whether it's
Yeah.
a car or paper clips.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so.
I want you to. You'll remember, you know, as much as you'll remember the bad experience of like, oh, they treated me like
Right.
crap. You'll also remember like, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was like legitimately fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a core memory. You know what I mean of car purchases. You know what I mean? So we've got a ton of people that come back here.
Well, hopefully it's a good.
what we do and how we do it. you
Yeah.
know? So,
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's a good memory doing this podcast too,
It
because
is.
you
It's
know.
been a blast. Yes, it's
we're
been a
so glad
blast,
to have you
guys.
on. You know,
Yes,
you just
thanks
got
for
your
having me.
promotion, so we thought we'd have you.
Thank you.
And talk a little bit about both sides, because a lot of our management here did start out in sales
Mm-hmm.
or other places in the dealership. So I think it's really important to see that we a lot of times promote within.
Yeah.
You know, we believe in our staff and
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
so-
you work hard, good things happen. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
pays
Absolutely.
off. So, well, thank you so much for joining
Thanks,
us
Matt.
today,
Appreciate it.
Matt.
Thanks for having me, guys. I had a blast.
Yeah, anytime. And we will see you next week with another amazing guest on the Art Moehn Auto Show.
Thanks so much.
Bye.